The African National Congress Head of Policy, Jeff Radebe, will this morning lead a media dialogue on corruption and state capture. It's all part of the release of party discussion documents ahead of the party's 6th National Policy Conference. The documents emanate from the work done by the task team established to consider and advise on the recommendations of the State Capture Commission. Newzroom Afrika's Mohlaoli is at Luthuli House and joins us live. Tumaole, very good morning to you. Expectations are high, especially just gauging from the depth contained in those policy documents. Talk to us about what's set to happen today.
Well, what's expected to happen today is that, of course, the head of policy, Jeff Radebe of the ANC, will then detail just what discussions those documents will be dealing with when it comes to, of course, the recommendations of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. Many recommendations were calling on all those who had been complicit or been seen to be aiding the State Capture project to be brought to book and to basically face the might of the law. Now, we have some very high-profile ANC members who had been found to have been, working with the Guptas in the aiding of state capture by the Commission of Inquiry's reports which were released earlier this year. We're talking here about names like Mosebenzi Zwane, we're talking about names like Nomvula Mokonyane, we're talking about names like, of course, Isma Khashule and others. And this is something that the ANC will be deliberating as to what this means for the party going forward and what this means in terms of the recommendations of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, because those recommendations we have seen already are now going before the courts, and we know that of course there are prosecutions that are now underway, and those prosecutions could have a bearing on the outcomes of the ANC's elective conference at the end of the year. Now the policy conference will then have to come up with recommendations that will then be debated and carried forward by that elective conference. By carried forward, the delegates will then elect leadership, a new leadership for the ANC that would then have to carry forward what the country and, of course, what the country's direction in terms of the fight against corruption and against state capture will be all about. So Jeff Radebe will be detailing those, and we will be watching those and bringing those to you as and when it happens.
I suppose the discussions around the conference that's set to happen at the weekend will also come to the forefront, especially as we know that ANC employees are disgruntled. They haven't been paid their salaries for June. And, of course, this has been an ongoing matter in terms of the times and dates that have been set out for payments not being met by the ANC.
Of course, many employees saying that they feel aggrieved by the fact that those dates and those deadlines have been missed. They're saying that many are working free of charge, essentially, and that the revelations of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry in terms of the amounts of monies and the amounts of state resources that have been bandied about that were not used for what they were meant to, and certainly not even benefiting them, is something that has caused great discomfort and great anger amongst the staff. Many are saying they're committed to the party still, hence why they keep coming back to work, and to show that they are committed but they're upset. We've had several marches to Luthuli House, where I am right now, where of course those employees of the ANC have brought those grievances to the doorstep of Luthuli House and gone out in public to say that they need to be paid. Many are saying that they can't live day to day because even the most basic of daily expenses, things like bread and things like fuel for their cars or money for transport to even get to Luthuli House, they can't afford. So they will be watching this particular briefing very closely to hear how the policies of the ANC will be changed internally to ensure that the party can keep, of course, its wage bill up to date.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. All eyes on the start of that conference, media briefing, pardon me. That's set to begin at around 10 o'clock. Those details there, as Mohlaoli explains. We'll take you live as soon as that matter gets underway. Now,